It is an absolute pleasure to welcome author Rinda Beach to our new series of author interviews. Welcome, Rinda, who is based in the United States, in Wapakoneta, Ohio. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on The Author's Voice and to share your book, Zoe's Scavenger Hunt Fun with teachers here in the UK. So before we discuss your book in a bit more detail, Rinda, can you please tell us more about your journey as a writer of children's books?
I never planned to be a writer, ever. I used to cry in college my way through papers. And I only started writing because I visited Germany, my sister city. And the second night I was there, a bat flew through the room, decided to hang from the curtain rod. And eventually, during the time we were together, I held up a mop and the bat climbed down onto the mop, 3 of its claws or 3 of its limbs. And it left the last one on the curtain rod, just in case I wasn't trustworthy. And I thought that was a good story. I wrote 2, they're still in my computer, but that wasn't my first book. This was my first book. It came out in 2019 in time for the 50th anniversary. And it came about because I volunteered at the Neil Armstrong Museum here in Wapakoneta, and I saw part of Neil's wind tunnel, just a tiny piece. And I couldn't believe at 16, he was building a wind tunnel that was like the Wright brothers. And 2 years later, or a year later, he was on his way to Purdue, and then you know the rest of the story. But that's the first book.
Absolutely.
Then from there, I went to Lake Fun, and that came out last year, but with COVID, it didn't find its market. I thought it would sell at the lakes. We have a house on Norris Lake in Tennessee, and the marinas just weren't interested. But I happened to find out that I had 2 people who told me that my book would be a perfect book for people who have house rentals, that they could give it as a thank you gift. And when you spend $10 or $20 for a book, it's a great gift. So that's where this one came in. I just got it this week. This is the new one, Zoe's Scavenger Hunt Fun. Lake Fun was a picture book. This one is a chapter book, and I think it's so much better.
Fantastic. So do give us a bit of a synopsis about Zoe's Scavenger Hunt Fun. What exactly is this book about, this chapter book?
Okay. Well, I'll read the dedication. For lake lovers like me who know there's always something new to discover. And that's what I hope they do on the book. I'm just going to read off the table of contents because that'll take you through the book. First, chapter 1, on the road to Norris Lake. We're, of course, going to drive to Norris. In chapter 2, because I'm a teacher, I'm a retired teacher, I have lake maps and search engines because I wanted kids to explore what map reading is. I wanted them to understand how big this lake is. So I had them take the miles, how long the lake is, and then transfer it into American football fields. So Norris Lake, 1,000 football fields long, it's a huge number. And I just thought that was fun.
Wow.
Chapter 3, I don't know if you cannonball in the UK, but in the US, kids love to do that, where they run they run into a swimming pool and jump, and they make a huge splash. And the kids had a cannonball contest.
Oh, we do that.
Oh my gosh. And Norris Lake is so beautiful that when you jump in and you look down, you can see your toes. The water is so clear. Then chapter 4, Zoe, I'm going to take you along with the things an American family would do on vacation. She's going kayaking at dawn with her father, and they're seeing animals around the lake. Like there's a bobcat at one point that is looking out at them, and she's so glad he doesn't like to swim. Chapter 5 is probably my favorite because it's Ready, Set, Boat, and it's all the things that American kids would do on the water, and they're the things my family did. They wakeboarded. Inner tubing is for the babies, for the littles, where you just hang on and you go flying and splashing. But the coolest one, and I've got a picture, here's a picture, is where you wake surf, because my last name is Beach. So, and I had a critique partner who said, you can't do that, that you can't be like a couple feet behind the boat because the engine would get you. But that's exactly what wake surfing is. So I wanted that picture in the book. And then after they have all the fun in the water, Zoe is after I'm taking you on a scavenger hunt through the book. And at the back, there's room for you to have your own scavenger hunt. There's a prize that she wants to win, and you'll find out about the prize. And of course, the last chapter, if she wins her prize or not. I believe in happy endings, so I'll just say that. And then the back of the book, I can give you a quick shot of it. It has, it's hard to see, it has room for you to draw your own like adventure and write about it. Like this one is, what are some activities you like to do in the water at the lake? And then you get to draw them.
That connection with nature, the beauty of the outdoors, is something that will definitely appeal to children. If anything, to open up their imagination during lockdown, where they're only seeing the four walls of their bedroom and their household. It's an opportunity to escape, and certainly it sounds like Zoe's scavenger hunt fun is exactly what that will provide during this crucial time. And it will certainly spark their imagination. It's something to look forward to once we're able to go out into the world and go on family vacations again. So it does remind us of the value of those beautiful things that's been provided naturally in our environment. So thank you so much for sharing that synopsis. You've also highlighted the fact that it's an opportunity for children to have a book while they're on holiday, have a book that will spark their imagination, will also get them writing, drawing, a bit of art. But you've kind of hit the nail on the head for the next question I was about to ask, which is about how this book would translate to the classroom setting. We celebrate reading for pleasure over here, and we believe that reading for pleasure is key when it comes to raising attainment across all subjects in the national curriculum. However, as a part of our job as teachers, we've got to develop those comprehension skills. So how do you see Zoe's scavenger hunt being best placed in the classroom?
Okay, this is designed in the US for kids in grades 2 through 4. Most of all, it's fun. If you're not having fun with a book, why are you reading it? I think this book will for UK kids, it'll take you on an adventure with an American family. It'll take you on our vacation. And it'll let you imagine, maybe you're in the US at my Norris Lake, maybe you're at one of your lakes. What are you doing? I think it gives you a chance to record your own things in words and pictures. Like you would say holiday, I would say vacation. And I think that's a whole new something that this book can give you if you're looking at vocabulary alone. As you read it aloud, you're going to spot those words that we would say over here, and you could identify the word that you would say. I think that's a huge thing. Any other comprehension, I think another huge thing is compare contrast, which we do over here with writing. I don't know if you use Venn diagrams, but right in the center, yes. How is the same? Maybe we both go boating. but on the other, each end, Renda's family goes boating this way, and your family goes boating this way. I think that's huge, you know, looking at how things are different, how they're the same.
Excellent, excellent. Fantastic. It very much is about the ability to look at different cultures, and to do those comparisons is quite an enriching thing, because you are learning about the American family, the kind of holidays, the kind of vacations. You are also looking at, well, what happens in England? What's our British version of this? And it certainly would be interesting to see. Many times we do books in the classroom that are of American writers, and we easily spot the vocabulary that's used differently, or a spelling that the first thing the children would say is that that's not quite right, that's not spelt properly. And we've got to explain to them that actually that's the American spelling, and then there is the British spelling. So yes, it is always an interesting conversation to have. So thank you very much for that. So I think at this point, I'm going to hand over to you so that you can read us an extract from your book.
Zoe is looking for a fishing rod because the little fish in the water have been nibbling on her, and she's not liking it, and they won't stop. So I searched through the fishing gear that hadn't made it down to the dock. It lay on the sidewalk waiting. The rods had to be somewhere. Maybe they were still in the garage. I took a couple of steps. Then I leaped into the air. There was a lizard standing right beside my foot. It froze, and so did I. We stared at each other. And that's when Nick's foot plopped down on its tail. Nick is her older brother. I jumped and shouted, "Let go!" He didn't have to. The lizard escaped, but his tail didn't. It lay there, twitching. "Yuck!" I yelled. I ran inside to tell Mom, because that's what little girls do. And here's the picture where she, the lizard, and her brother very kindly steps on his tail. If you go to my website, rindabeach.com, and it's spelled like my name, I have a bookmark. This one is for Lake Fun. I haven't made the new one for Zoe, poor Zoe. And on the back, I did a scavenger hunt of things that you could find around the lake. I'm still a teacher. And when kids go in, you can print that off. And you can have a freebie, which is lovely. I love freebies because I'm still a teacher. You can download this free. It's right out of the Lake Fun book. They can draw their own pictures. They can write their own stuff, because reading and writing with language arts are huge over here, huge. And on my website,
they're also huge here in the UK as well.
And if you go to my website, go to my books, and it will have the 3 books that I've published. I write blog posts like I have been writing this week about getting this book in the mail. It says, "My name may not be on the cover." We discovered after it was the first round were published, my name isn't there. So I wrote it down so I'd remember. My name may not be on the cover, but it's still here on this page. Tiny mistakes like this are the things that are something unique and valuable. Here's to the unique. And I signed it. And this is my book. I saved things. Brooke, my editor, sent me a congratulations card. And I taped it in the book so it'll always be with me. And I just think that's lovely.
Oh,
anyway,
that's a beautiful way to use a book.
Yes. And if you go to my website, click on the blog, and if you're looking for volcanoes in South America, stories about Neil, if you click on my Pinterest link, it'll take you to my Pinterest account, and you can search. So if I can help UK teachers,
fantastic.
RendaBeach.com.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Rinda, for sharing your wonderful books with teachers here in the UK. It's always such a pleasure to hear the author's voice behind the children's books. And finally, can you just share with us where we can purchase any of your books, be it the one about Neil Armstrong, or if it's Zoe's Scavenger Hunt Fun?
You can get all three of them on Amazon UK. And to find them, I would just type in my name and you'll find me. Zoe is still on pre-order because her book birthday is actually March 9th. So she's not officially out, even though I have a cover in my hands.
So thank you once again, Rinda, and we look forward to hearing even more about your journey as a writer of children's books. Do see links for Zoe's Scavenger Hunt Fun and for the rest of Rinda's books in this video. Thank you so much for joining ReadMaster for UK Teachers, home of the author's voice. All the best, Rinda.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to say hello to teachers in the UK. It's sort of a dream reaching out to other teachers.